I don't really want to help out because there's so many reasons why I think I'm that good. I don't know. But when I'm placed as the person who is going to help out, I kind of feel this obligation to help because they saw something in me that I did not see. What's up, familia? How are you doing? Matter of fact, how's everybody doing? We're gonna be continuing the series of They Inspired Me in today's video. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos in this series. Right now, we are in the venerable section. Just as an FYI, remember that this list can change at some point due to the canonization process of each person mentioned in this video. So just keep that in mind. Today's gospel inspiration comes to us from Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Today's first venerable is Venerable Pope John Paul I. We know him as Pope John Paul I, but his name was Albino Luciani. He was born on October 17, 1912 in Belluno, a province of the Veneto region in northern Italy. Interesting fact as it pertains to popes, he was actually the first pope to have been born in the 20th century. All the other popes up until that point had been born in the 19th century, which is the 1800s. A Capuchin friar made a big impression on him at the age of 10 with his preaching of the Lenten sermons, and from that moment he decided that he wanted to become a priest, and so he went to his father to ask for his permission. Now, compared to other fathers, his reaction was very supportive, and he even went to say to him, I hope that when you become a priest, you will be on the side of the workers, for Christ himself would have been on their side. Luciani was ordained a priest on July 7, 1935. Luciani then served as a curate in his native town before becoming a professor and the vice rector of the Belluno Seminary in 1937. He taught dogmatic and moral theology, canon law, and sacred art. A very learned man. On December 15, 1958, Luciani was appointed Bishop of Vittorio Veneto by Pope John XXIII. Then Pope Paul VI created Luciani Cardinal Priest of San Marco in the consistory on March 5, 1973. Luciani would be selected as the next pope after the death of Pope Paul VI. And this was something that he was not looking forward to. Luciani had previously said to his secretary, Father Diego Lorenzi, and to Father Prospero Gretsch that he would actually decline the papacy if he was elected. And he had intended to vote for someone else, but he would eventually be elected, and one of the other cardinals told him that he would be the new pope. When he was elected as the next pope, he was asked if he accepted it, and he replied with the yes, but he also said this, may God forgive you for what you have done. I'm not sure if he said that jokingly or if he said that in a manner that was a very serious tone, but it sounds to me that was just like, my goodness, what did you guys do? He had already expressed the desire to not be elected, but it seemed as if it was not his call. And regarding his acceptance, he felt the obligation to go ahead and accept. It's like if there's a project, right? A photo project, and I was mentioned that I could be of assistance. But I say internally to my peoples, yo, like, being honest, I don't really want to help out because there's so many reasons why I think I'm that good. I don't know. But when I'm placed as the person who is going to help out, I kind of feel this obligation to help because they saw something in me that I did not see. He would be the first pontiff to have the double regnal name, choosing John Paul in honor of his two immediate predecessors, St. John the 23rd and Paul the 6th. And this was, as he explained, because he felt indebted to John the 23rd for naming him a bishop and to Paul the 6th for naming him a cardinal. His reign, though, would not last long. He was the head of the Catholic Church and sovereign of the Vatican City from August 26, 1978 to his death 33 days later. His reign is among the shortest in papal history, resulting in the most recent year of 3 popes, Paul VI, John Paul I, and St. John Paul II. He was declared a servant of God by his successor, St. John Paul II, on November 23, 2003, and Pope Francis would confirm his heroic virtue on November 8, 2017, and named him Venerable. Today's next Venerable is Venerable Augustus Tolton. He was born on April 1st, 1854 in Rawls County, Missouri, here in the United States. He was baptized as Augustine Tolton. He was the first Roman Catholic priest in the United States publicly known to be black when he was ordained in 1886. Tolton was a former slave who was baptized and brought up Catholic. When he arrived in Quincy, Illinois, Augustus and his siblings would begin working at the Harris Tobacco Company, where they made cigars. Augustus would meet Peter McGeer, who was an Irish immigrant priest from Fintona County, Tyrone, and he would become an important figure in Augustus' life. He gave him an opportunity to attend St. Peter's parochial school during the winter months, when the factory where he would be working was closed. Now, we are talking years after the Civil War ended, so the climate during this time was still very difficult for freed African Americans, even though the war had ended. The priest's decision would be viewed as controversial, and many of McGeer's parishioners actually objected to a black student at their children's school. It's actually sad, to be honest with you. McGeer held strong though and supported Tolton. With the support of McGeer's, Augustus would apply to the seminaries, but he would be rejected. McGeer did not stop there and persevered and helped him again. He enabled Tolton's study in Rome, and thank God for Father McGeer. Tolton would go on to graduate from St. Francis Solanas College and attend the Pontifical Urbania University, where he became fluent in Italian language as well as studying Latin and Greek. Augustus would be ordained in Rome in the year 1886 at the age of 31 at the Archbasilica of St. John Lateran, and his first public mass was actually in St. Peter's Basilica on Easter Sunday in 1886. And while this would be an amazing step, it would not be the end of the difficulties he was to face. Tolton celebrated his first mass in the United States, and when he attempted to organize a parish there, he would be met with resistance from both white Catholics and Protestant blacks who did not want him trying to attract people to another denomination. However big the difficulties were that he would face during this time, he would not quit, and he would continue to reap plentiful harvest. His parish, St. Monica's, would actually grow from just 30 parishioners to 600 with the construction of the new church building. And his success at ministering black Catholics quickly earned him national attention within the Catholic hierarchy. He would be nicknamed Good Father Gus. One interesting fact on Father Tolton was his talent for playing the accordion. In 1893, he would start dealing with illnesses and would be forced to take a temporary leave of absence from his duties in 1895. On July 8, 1897, he collapsed and died the following day at Mercy Hospital as a result of a heat wave. On June 12, 2019, Pope Francis authorized the promulgation of the decree of heroic virtue of Augustine Tolton, and he was now given the title of Venerable. Last on today's list is Venerable Leo Dupont. Dupont was born on January 24, 1797 in Martinique. As he grew older, he developed his religious viewpoint and was starting to perform a number of good deeds. Dupont would be associated with various religious figures, including Saint Madeleine Sophie Barat, Saint Peter Julian Aymard, and Saint John Vianney. We will talk about the last two a bit later. In 1827, Dupont married Caroline Anne de Freddy, and in 1832 had his daughter Henrietta. Caroline died about a year after Henrietta was born, and after the death of his wife, he, along with his mother, moved to France in 1834 and settled in Tours. While gazing at a picture of Saint Teresa of Avila, Leo decided to become more active in spreading the Catholic faith. He wrote a book on Marian shrines, would join the recently formed Society of St. Vincent de Paul, and supported them through large sums of money. Unfortunately, after his pilgrimage to La Salette in 1847, his daughter Henrietta died. From here on, he would focus on religious activities. When Dupont arrived to Tours, the devotion to Saint Martin had almost completely fallen into disuse, and a couple of roads covered the location of Saint Martin's tomb. Apparently, this was done on purpose to obliterate the memory of Saint Martin of Tours. For Leo, Saint Martin of Tours was the model of charity, and he desired to restore devotion to the Bishop of Tours. He began the process for the eventual rebuilding of his basilica that had been destroyed by revolutionaries. With the suggestions of Mr. Dupont, in 1848, the Cathedral of Tours began to restore the festivities surrounding the feast of St. Martin on November 11th. He even helped build the modern Basilica of St. Martin de Tours, which traces back to the year 472. And that's a while back. He gained a reputation as a Catholic activist and a helper of the poor, and he would be in contact with other French Catholic figures such as Saint John Vianney and Saint Peter Julian Aymard, who was also an active proponent of spreading devotion to the Holy Eucharist. He worked diligently to establish a nightly Eucharistic adoration in Tours where it would spread within France. Dupont wrote a book, Faith Revived and Piety Reanimated through the Eucharist, to combat writers who were against the Holy Eucharist. Dupont is perhaps best known for his impact on spreading the devotion to the Holy Face of Jesus, and is even referred to at times as the Apostle of the Holy Face. Dupont died in 1876 at the age of 79, and immediately after his death, his house on Rue Septienne was purchased by the Archdiocese of Tours and turned into an oratory of the Holy Face. And here's another interesting detail. A priest by the name of Father Javier would write a biography of Dupont's life and the Holy Face devotion. And these books would be distributed and start the spread of the Holy Face devotion. The ways, and I say this again, the ways of God are mysterious. Years later, they would influence one of the most well-known saints of the modern time, Saint Therese of Lisieux. The devotion to the Holy Face of Jesus was approved by Pope Leo the 13th in 1885. Dupont was named a venerable in 1939. We'll continue with the list of venerables that you need to know of next week. Question of the week: what are the prayers you normally pray during difficult moments? Let me know in the comment sections down below. Make sure you go and check out Durant Design and A Catholic in Brooklyn. The links for their websites and pages are down below. Stop by and support. Always pray with faith and trust in God. Stay blessed. God bless. Again, appreciate all the support on this channel. Make sure you all check out these other videos over here and hit the subscribe button to be subscribed. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.